As a man of genuine discipline, the metaphoric significance of the start of a new year should have no bearing on your behavior. But I understand that for a vast majority of men in the world, January serves as a jolt to the complacent mind and forces them to take stock of where they went wrong the past year. It's unfortunate that it has to be this way, but perhaps this boost of motivation can translate into a disciplined life if you're willing to put in the thought and effort. If you've spent any time at all on your self-improvement journey, there's one thing you should have realized beyond doubt. The foundation of becoming an admirable and firmly masculine man is control over your life force. Your C is your life force and is the bedrock of the life you want to build for yourself. Be sure to construct the edifice of your masculinity on firm foundations by letting go of the habit of constantly indulging in adult content and depleting the most important and vital fluid that your body produces. Here's the deal, the start of this new year isn't just a change of the calendar. It's the flipping of the page on one critically important time of your life that you will never ever get back. So along with the motivation to do better in 2023, take a look back and realize all the years you've left behind. You're hurtling towards your inevitable old age and death. Time is of the essence on your journey as a man. Socrates said something that rings truer today than at any other time for men. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. And that's the cold fact, you are growing old with every passing year, while the habits that you constantly indulge in slowly chip away at your youth and virility as a man. This is the greatest tragedy of modern man, and it engulfs a vast majority of men around you. The world you live in will stop feeling sorry for you after a while, and you'll be expected to become the indomitable wall of strength that others can lean against in times of crisis. This is what masculinity is all about, but that's never going to happen when that wall is built on flimsy foundations. This is what seed depletion does to you. It rots you from the inside and leaves you incapable of weathering the harsh storms of life when they appear. If you're someone who's finally feeling the sense of emergency life ultimately must have, then you're the person who owes it to himself to make the best of it and go all out in your pursuit of greatness. The first step toward that, however, is to finally let go of the PMO habit that drowns modern men and stop the vicious cycle of seed depletion that is killing you on the inside. I'm going to lay out a blueprint in front of you to go monk mode on your retention journey so you are forced to take action, because ignorance is no longer a defense. We all remember the month of November, especially those of you that tried to jump on the NN bandwagon that takes over social media for the month. Here's something that might sound paradoxical to you at first. I don't like the idea of No Nut November, and I'll explain to you why. Morgan Freeman was asked once by Mike Wallace why he hates the idea of there being a Black History Month. His reply was both ingenious and enlightening. He remarked that having a dedicated month to Black history is relegating it to just a month, when Black history is part of American history itself and should be celebrated year-round. Precisely. You may be getting the point now about why relegating the fundamental no PMO discipline that every man should be on to just 1 month in a year is ridiculous. Going forward into 2023, understand that retention is the very building block of the man you are destined to be, and relegating it to a meme month and remaining depleted the rest of the year is the surefire way of never becoming that man. Look around you, and the mere sight of the masses of men hopelessly addicted to wasting their life force into emptiness should push you to rise above them. It's easier than it has ever been to become a standout man, and the rewards for being that are endless. What could be better than a world that lays opportunities at your feet, and the competition around you is hooked to sleep and rendered emasculated? The new year presents itself as a paradigm shift you can make in your life, as a mark on the calendar when you finally turned your life around. If that isn't enough to shake you into action, perhaps nothing will be. Snap out of the numbing social conditioning that bombards you with triggers and keeps you preoccupied with lowly activities. Being in a constant state of emptiness and depletion is what stands between you and everything you've ever wanted. I remember vividly the man I used to be, frail and compliant, one that was afraid to put his best foot forward and shivered at the thought of approaching a woman. I was comfortable sitting in a lonely corner at night and letting my imagination loose on everything I could be, but it all vanished into thin air with the start of the new day. Understand that action is what drives all progress, and time slips by regardless. Just as I have taken myself by the shoulders and shaken myself into action, so should you. The whole world's a stage, and you can choose whether to be the main protagonist of the story, or to simply slip by unnoticed and forgotten. That is the crossroads ahead of you, and that is the luxury of choice you are presented with. Don't let it go to waste. You need to curate a pathway ahead of you, or else one will be chosen for you by fate. Understand that nothing good ever happens by accident. Letting go of your PMO habit will require deliberate intervention to build a life that is antithetical to it. It means not just your media habits and what you watch, but the diet you consume and the people you surround yourself with. There will need to be a complete reevaluation and detox of everything and everyone around you in order to build a consistent discipline that can last and propel you into a greater realm as a man. It's now or never in the truest sense of the phrase. If you're a man in your 20s or 30s, perhaps you may be deluded into thinking you have decades ahead of you, but realize that time slips out of hand more quickly than sand, and you will soon find yourself hypnotized and distracted in the consumerist world we live in while your youth passes by. Unplug from the billions of men hooked to online adult content and take control of where your hands go. Look up into the world and realize that you are just a pawn in the matrix, a piece on the chessboard for those who want to control and tame you. Understand that failing to do so will mean complete annihilation on every level for you and all those that depend on you, and that is the sad fate you must not accept simply for a few seconds of fleshly pleasure. The best time to quit PMO and go monk mode in your retention was when you hit puberty. The second best is now. And it will get incrementally harder to quit the farther along you move into the future. Let 2023 be not just the start of another year, but the beginning of a new man you build out of yourself. Only then will you be able to justify your life's choices in your old age. If you're ready for this journey, then this channel is your reservoir of wisdom for it. You cannot slack off or let go on your quest to become a high-value man that is admired by other men and adored by women. And that is why resources like this are the tools to carve yourself into the masculine man you need to be. So subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know the kind of high-quality content the modern man wants to see. Stay strong and stay humble.